and he does it so subtly, it made people start arguing about all the wrong stuff. I'm like, how are y'all upset?
He's a master at it.
Yeah, how are y'all upset that this little boy, this is one of his dreams. He wanted to be a police officer, you know what I mean?
But why do we call it a stunt? Like, he might have really wanted to do that. That might not have been a stunt because
It's definitely a stunt.
They do it on both sides, too. Don't get me wrong. At the State of the Union address, they do it on both sides.
Yeah, a stunt makes it feel like it wasn't hard coming from the heart.
Like it was malicious or something with some type of different intent.
That's right.
Like, yeah.
It was
to give that boy a wish.
You know what he did? It for us to be having this conversation right here, it's effective. That's why it's a stunt.
Yeah. Well,
there was a few of them.
Oh my God.
A spectacle out of praising a young man who thus far survived pediatric cancer, as if the president had something to do with that. This was in the midst of him praising Doge. The Doge cuts, among other things, have cut off funding for ongoing research into pediatric cancer. For the record, and this is disgusting.
So I want to play the kid that Rachel Maddow was talking about in this video. I want to play. Hold on. Let me roll out of there. I want to play the video of the young man that she's talking about, and then I want to play the Breakfast Club video, and then we'll share our comments.
But you want to know the craziest part? Because my mom bathes me and my brothers all together. And out of nowhere, I locked up, and then my dad was calling my name, and I started going to the slow thing, and he said, "Stop playing with me." And I then I started to act, I ain't gonna lie, I started to act slow, and then as soon as he said that, we was speeding all the way, running lights, going to the hospital, and then next thing you know, I was seizing on the table. They said, "No, we gonna have to go in his brain tonight." Ever since then, I had 13 brain surgeries, and that's how many times my personality has changed, and that's something that you don't hear from a terminally ill child. They had 5 months to live. I'm gonna keep on going until my gas tanks run out. And that's when God calls you home. You never know when God's gonna call you home. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my dad. I know he's pretty proud of me, and I'm pretty proud of him too. And I'd like to thank President Trump, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today.
So, very emotional story, right? I think anybody who hears what this young man has gone through, I think what did he say? He had like 11, 12, or 13. I forget the exact amount of surgeries. Very heartfelt story. And this is the story that Rachel Maddow in the previous video was talking about, where a lot of people are saying shame on Trump for using this young man as a stunt, for using him as a gimmick. And I don't know. You all tell me. As you guys are telling me, what do you guys think as far as, do you think Trump used this as a gimmick? Do you think he used it as a stunt? What are your thoughts on it? What are your thoughts on it? Because this is the young man that was I'm not sure if you guys saw it, but he was made a Secret Service member. He was made a Secret Service member. His dad, lifted him up, and we're getting ready to play the Breakfast Club conversation around it. And I don't want to give my full take on it yet. I want to hear you guys' feedback, but before I'm swaying you one way or another, I don't know. Maybe I'm not that as influential as I think at times, but I just wanted to hear your guys' thoughts on it. But let's take a look at this Breakfast Club video as they're discussing it and see what their thoughts are.
It was a 13-year-old
Little
kid,
boy.
yeah, that was given a Secret Service clearance last night during the State of the Union address. Let's take a listen to that.
DJ Daniel, he is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer. But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
That was a great
dope.
moment.
That was dope.
And then it was like Rafiki holding up.
And I want to show y'all the moment. Maybe I'll show y'all the moment as well for those people that didn't see it. But just imagine this moment happening And I don't think any Democrats stood up, celebrated, anything like that. But let's keep going.
Remember,
Yeah,
he picked him up and held him
he
up.
kept picking
His
him
father
up.
picked him up.
And
Yeah.
excited.
DJ held up the badge, and when Trump announced it, DJ's face was looking like, for
Really?
real? Like,
Yeah.
is this happening?
He said, "Damn."
Yes.
He asked the agent, "Can I hug you?" It looked like, and then he
Yes.
hugged the agent. He was really
When
happy,
he
man.
hugged Sean Kern, I was like, oh, like I literally said, oh, and I'm like, there's no way that anything like this can be made bad at all.
That
And
was
then
an effective stunt.
It was so effective. Not only was it a good moment, but I think it made people, and I think to Trump's like what they were trying to do, and he is so good at what he does, and he does it so subtly. It made people start arguing about all the wrong stuff. I'm like, how are y'all upset?
He's a master at it.
Yeah, how are y'all upset that this little boy? This is one of his dreams. He wanted to be a police officer. You know what I mean?
But why do we call it a stunt? Like, he might have really wanted to do that. That might not have been a stunt because
It's
he
definitely a
he
stunt.
made a stunt
They do it on
Trump
both sides
thing.
too.
What are you
Don't get me
talking about?
wrong. At the
Yeah,
State of the
they do-
Union
that's what
address,
you
they
do
do
at
it
the
on
State
both
of the Union.
sides.
Yeah, a stunt
a
makes
stunt.
it feel like it wasn't heart coming from the heart.
It can
Like it
still
was
come from the
malicious or
heart.
something with some type of different intent.
That's right.
Like, yeah.
It
He
was
wanted
a
to give
stunt.
that boy a wish.
You know what he did? It for this, for us to be having this conversation right here. It's effective. That's why it's a stunt.
Yeah.
know.
Well,
There was a few of those he did yesterday.
The trans one was that.
Let me ask y'all this. I don't think whether or not it's effective determines whether it's a stunt or not in most of our minds. I think I understand what Charlamagne's saying, but I think what makes it a stunt in our minds, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong, is how we judge the moral compass of the person that's doing it. Do we think that they were actually doing it because for different reasons? I don't know. What I do believe that, and this is one of the things that why I was I'm a bit nervous about where we are in this country, is that regardless of whether we feel it was a stunt or not, when we're in a position where we see something like that happen, where kids given an opportunity, and I'm going to play the video so that way we can see the reaction. I'm not sure if they show the full reaction in this clip that we're getting ready to see, but when we get to a point where, because we hate Donald Trump so much, because we hate the Republicans so much, and we're sitting in Congress and we see a young man who's going through everything that he's going through, and you can't stand and celebrate or at least clap and appreciate this young man and the situation. When we can't appreciate that, we're in a bad place. And if a president is just using it as a stunt, regardless of what you feel, we're in a bad place. We're in a bad place. When people will, instead of saying, I mean, the Democrats could have said, hey, we stood up for, that young man, because that's an opportunity that young man, I'm sure, feels very proud about and is very happy about. And all the stuff that young man has gone through, and maybe all the things that other survivors of cancer have gone through, it gives them some sort of inspiration and encouragement. So we're going to celebrate that young man. But instead, the politics was prioritized. The fact that, oh no, I'm gonna put up my sign and just say Trump's lying, Elon Musk is stealing money, rather than showing love to a young man that I think we would show love to in any other situation than this. But because it's Trump that nominated him. If Joe Biden did the same thing, what would we be saying? If Kamala Harris did the same thing, what would we be saying? If Barack Obama, phony ass Barack Obama, who took the fake sip of water in Michigan to convince families in Michigan that their drinking water was good, if he did it, what will we say? We're in a bad place. Let's look at this, and you guys tell me how you guys feel about it.
In the gallery tonight is a young man who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer.
And I got to say it. Because people want to paint Trump in such a narrative where Trump is just a racist, he'll never do anything for black, brown people, he's a white supremacist, all these other things, because we will say all these things about him, it doesn't fit our narrative. I'm talking about the Democratic narrative, to celebrate this young man, to celebrate Trump doing something for this type of young man. based on that, would it be different if, couldn't Trump have found a white kid who survived cancer and lifted him up in the air, his dad, and celebrated him? But because we have to put these politicians that we vote for, they convince us to put them in a box that fits our narrative rather than being able to take a step back and have a humane view on this situation. We won't celebrate this. We'll look down on it. This young man is sitting here saying damn, half of these people didn't even celebrate me. That's kind of a bad feeling, right? Let's keep going. I thought the Democrats were the nice people. And I'm not sure, and I don't know if somebody can tell me of another angle or certain Democrats that did stand up and celebrate this young man. I don't know. Maybe some people sat and clapped, but they probably were scared that their colleagues would be looking at.
Y'all know what it is. It's Dak from the OG Network. Man, I just want to thank y'all. That's right, to thank y'all for all of your tremendous support over the years, whether you've been rocking with us from the beginning or maybe this is the first show that you're checking out on the network. We want to thank you nonetheless. And we have an ask, all right? We have a goal of reaching 20,000 subscribers by the end of March. That's right, 20K by the end of March. It's not a real goal unless you put a date on it. And with that, we need your help. So we ask that if you are enjoying the content that you like, subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're feeling real generous, maybe share with some friends and family. All right, I'll let y'all go. And once again, thank you for your continued support. And we look forward to growing with y'all. See y'all soon. Ew.
Them funny, I don't know.
But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago. Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer, actually a number of times. The police love him, the police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
Imagine hating a group so much that you can't celebrate this. Hold on, I wanted to pause it real quick. Hold on. All of these people sitting down in the back. Look at all these Democrats that are sitting down in the back. See, I guess the Democrats, when they push DEI, they only want certain opportunities provided to people that are aligned with their agendas. So they only want opportunities provided for Black people that align with the Democratic agenda. They only want opportunities for kids with disabilities that they can use as maybe their stunts, right? And I actually think that I think I saw it in the comments. I think Steve wrote it. Yeah. Steve wrote, let's say for the sake of argument that it was all just pandering. Every single State of the Union address I can think of has had a similar presentation by both parties. One thing is for sure, that young man and his family will never forget that day. Why are we, Steve, I'm glad that you wrote that. Why are we acting stupid? We've seen this plenty of times from plenty of politicians. We pick and choose what we decide is a stunt, is this and that. Trump could have done a stunt with somebody else, right? The way that we discuss Trump, maybe Trump should have done a stunt with a white supremacist Klan kid, and then he could have put him on the Secret Service because Trump's a white supremacist and white nationalist and all these other things. So maybe that would have fit Trump's narrative more. Y'all claim that Trump doesn't care, he's divisive. So if Trump's really trying to be divisive, then wouldn't that fit with that narrative a little bit better? But oh no, it's only a good thing when Kamala Harris or Joe Biden and the Democrats are doing it. Or it's only a bad thing when it's a kid that's involved. Do we not think that we talked about it earlier, Meg the Stallion, we don't think that was a stunt? We don't think Cardi B, all these, we don't like are we being for real? And now we take away, and I'm glad that what Steve finished off with. One thing is for sure, that young man and his family will never forget that day. Never forget that day. So, and I'm sorry, I know I missed a few comments. I know I missed. Frank said that was nice for the kid. The Dems look stupid. I'm being honest. They really did. They really did. They look stupid. And PT Salty said if it was a white kid, it would have been the same diss, but in another context. I agree. Let's move on to this. Hold on. Let's finish this Breakfast Club video real quick. I don't even think we finished it, and then we'll move on.
Is that a stunt? Which one?
Absolutely not. That is very much real. How he feels about it.
It was a good moment that identified as a stunt.
Okay.
It was a good moment that identified as a stunt. I don't know if he peeped that, but he was saying, was the transgender thing a stunt or not? The trans? Wait, was it trans? Was it? I know there was the athlete that got hit by the trans, or I don't even know. Yeah, I guess it was hit by a boy playing women's sports or playing girl sports in volleyball. Was that a stunt? I don't know. It's I don't know. We could sit here and go back and forth, I guess, for days about what's a stunt by this person, and all it does is, I guess what it does is it shows us that there's a lot of people out here that believe that a lot of these politicians, like the one that we root for, they're the good guys. They're the good guys. All right, so let's did I have another video to show y'all? I think we'll do this. It's already almost 11 o'clock. My big bro just came in town. He's getting ready to get here with Fran. My sis. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? What do we do? I don't know what we do. And I told y'all I'm concerned. I'm worried because of what I said earlier. When you have an influential, powerful machine that is backed into a corner, let's make no mistake about it. The Democrats are still powerful. They are still powerful. They have no foundation, no principles, morals, and values that they stand on. They have no leadership. They're in complete disarray. That's why you see like the loudest one is now we base the leaders based on who's the loudest. Why did we talk about Jasmine Crockett? Because she's the loudest. She replaced AOC for the loudest. As a matter of fact, I actually am going to predict that her and AOC have a problem because they're competing for the same. They're competing for the same spot. Watch what ends up happening. They're gonna have some issues with each other because they're competing for the same spot. It is it's looking promising in certain areas, but you know what's discouraging? When a team starts to win. I'm gonna bring it back to sports, but this may be one of the most discouraging things. When a team, the more success that a team has, the more certain players on the team are miserable. the more success that Trump has, and I've spoken to different people that did not vote for Trump, but are still hoping, that Trump, that like, I hope he does a good job, but I didn't vote for him. But I hope for the sake of all of us in our country that he does a good job. What is scary is when people are rooting for somebody to fail, when people are rooting for the leaders on the team that they are on to fail, rather than for the leader to do well and everybody on the team do better. That's a very scary place to be in. And that's where I see us in the position that we're in as a country. So let's wrap it up here. We didn't get into the actual a lot of the speech that I planned on us watching. In my mind, I was like, oh, we'll be able to get through all the videos and then watch like a half an hour, 45 minutes of Trump's speech last night. Didn't exactly get to that, but y'all know how we do, man. I enjoy this conversation with y'all. I appreciate all the people that just joined today for the first time. Actually, if you could do me one last favor, like, if you didn't already subscribe if you didn't already subscribe, turn your notifications on. We actually have the most important part of the show, especially for those that are new to the show. But when we discuss a lot of these topics that we are very much engaged in, I think a lot of it, I don't want anybody going to bed angry. I don't want anybody waking up angry at the world. I want everybody going to bed appreciating the opportunities that we all have, appreciating the situations that we're in, especially, for all those living in America. And if you're living in a country where you are super privileged to have been born in that country. I just came from the Dominican Republic, and when I tell y'all, like, they're living in a different way. And I'm not saying that they're not as happy, but they're living in a different way where even something as simple as they have mopeds. And I saw 3 people on mopeds. Did we not see? We saw a family of 4 on one moped. A family of 4, the parents and 2 kids on a moped, no helmets. We are all living, the majority of us, I'm not going to say the majority of us are living in extreme privilege. And even if we're not living in extreme privilege, I think that we're going to put out a better energy and give ourselves a better chance of being successful if we constantly look at the glass as half full rather than half empty. And even if it's not all the way half full, maybe just saying like, listen, I'm glad that I got something in my glass and this something I have in my glass, I can use that to attract more in that glass. And if there's nothing in the glass, then damn it, I'm glad I got a glass. There's always things to be appreciative of. And one thing that I'm learning more and more in life, the things that I'm more appreciative of, those are the opportunities that I'm inviting in my life. So I say all that to say that the reason why this is the most important part of the show is because we take 45 seconds to completely clear our minds, meditate, manifest, get your breath work in. We always say, breathe out all the negative energy that's not helping us get to a better place in life, to see things in a more positive perspective, and to inhale all just positive energy, promising energy, and welcome in those positive opportunities that are going to come our way. So therefore, by the end of this show, we'll have ourselves in the best mindset that's conducive to being successful, not just for our individual success, but humanity, dare I say, because we all are on this planet together. I know a lot of times, it seems like we're divided in our families, we're divided in our households, we're divided in our countries, we're divided between US and Canada, we're divided between East and West, all these different things. We are on this planet together, and I hope it doesn't take us being reminded or us being shown in a particular way where the threat of the destruction of this world in a Noah's Ark kind of way, or a Sodom and Gomorrah kind of way, whatever story you need to relate to in order to get the lesson. But I think that we all, because we live in so much privilege, we think that the world's not going to come to an end, or we're going to always be good. I really think that things can turn very quickly and drastically. And just because we're in a country that's not currently at war, we're not losing a lot of our kids. I saw a video of, I believe it was in Ukraine, where somebody was walking their dog, a young man walking their dog, where the van pretty much, instead of a draft, or I guess it was a draft, to bring that man to the army, they I don't even know if you could say kidnapped. They kidnapped the kid, left the dog that he was walking, threw him in the van, and I got to confirm the story, but there's a lot of stuff that's happening around this world that can touch our doorsteps very quickly, depending on if we allow these goofy ass leaders that a lot of us follow to push us in that direction. And I'm talking on the Democrat as well as Republican side. So let's take 45 seconds. Let's give grace. Let's give empathy where we can. And let's just clear our minds and just think about the positive things that we can all do and the positive ways that we can impact our society. So with that, we'll take 45 seconds. If you're in a safe place, close your eyes. Like I said, manifest, meditate, get your breath work in, do whatever it is that you need to do to put yourself in the best mindset before you go to sleep tonight. So with that, we'll start our 45 seconds and close your eyes if you're in a safe place. Ready, begin. All right, one more deep breath, or one more release, releasing all the negative energy, and then a deep breath, bringing in all that positive energy. All right, y'all know what we come here to do, elevate on purpose, both from an intentional standpoint, intentionally raising our standards so that we can become the leaders that our communities need now more than ever, as well as to develop and grow into the individuals and teams that are needed in order to accomplish the outlandish goals that I hope we're all setting for ourselves. And they're only outlandish from everybody else's perspective. All right. We should have goals that make people look at us as almost, oh, you're arrogant, you're obnoxious. Yeah, I'm all that. And I'm finna get these goals too. So strength and honor, onward and upward. We always say, make sure that you're getting to the bag. And the bag is not a money thing. Maybe it is for you, but the bag is just the little things that we're doing each and every day that are going to align with putting us on the trajectory to achieve that purposeful abundance that we strive for in our big picture goal. So with that, I appreciate y'all. Salute y'all. Sorry I didn't catch up with the last bit of comments, but definitely as you're listening, please make sure that you're paying attention to the chat. That's only going to help. So with that, love y'all, appreciate y'all. And I really do root for everybody, man. I'm rooting for everybody, period. Wishing the best for everybody. And with that, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.